kwebaza nate ggwe awayo obudde bwo buli ssaawa 12 n'ekitundu ez'akawungeezi olunaku olw'Essande n'ogamba nti kandabe program ya Inspire. Thank you so much to all of those who follow us on YouTube. The family is growing. The family is growing. Ate baba TikTok simanyi ngeri yakubeebazaamu naye nga program ya Inspire ebeera buli lwa Sunday saa 12 n'ekitundu ez'akawungeezi bw'oba ogisubiddwa girabe ku Lwokuna ssaawa 9 ez'olweggulo. Amannya nze Shira Nakayemba okubeera nga ngikutuusaako. Mpoziko anyambaza ye Joanita wali ku Claret. Bw'oba adress ojagadde osobola omukubira ku 0772 33 05 91. Ankozeko makeup nagambye si mulala n'olwaleero mugenyi wange Immaculate Kanyesije. Did I get it right? Yeah. So soko nywe kurendera amazzi tukomewo tugende mu mboozi ye nate.
Inspire.
Weewaawo kulikayo mu kawumula aka akatono. Olwaleero tukomyewo n'emboozi ya Immaculate. Luli yali atunyumiza ebintu by'ayiseemu ate nga n'abawala abalala bye bayitamu. We all have different dreams. Tubeera tulowooza at 25 I should be having this amount of money, I should be driving my own car, I should be having my own apartment. Ogenda olaba mukwano gwange okoze kino okoze kiri. Before you know it, you're approaching 30. But that's life. Don't put yourself on too much pressure. Take your time. Amy.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Balabi baffe soko beyanjulire obajjukizeeko ku mannya go ne byokola.
Amanya gange nga Luliera. I'm Rachel Kanyesije, but I use Rachel K Immaculate from my social media, and then I work as a makeup artist and hairstylist at Flawless Brides RK. And also I'm a decorator at Flawless Deco and Events. Professionalism, I'm a laboratory technician by profession and a marketeer at ChemLab Self-Care.
Can you imagine? Lab technician, tebikwatagana nnyo na makeup na decoration.
I know.
So otunyumiza, you started your makeup journey nga you're doing your diploma at Nsambya. Bananse zaabo nga tebatera kwekolakolako.
Era munange anti you know what edda nursing yali y'abantu bakulu, but right now these days even the youth the young are also there studying, so kati aba abaana abato ate. Then the other thing is that saamukoleranga nnyo mu ssomero. Namukola only in school when they have their leavers party, that's when they would want a face big, but I would get most of these gigs outside.
But with the lab technician, is it advisable to put on makeup as a lab technician?
Yes, it is, as long as it is not going to, you don't put on extras, you know. There is nothing wrong with putting on makeup when you're in the lab. The only thing they don't advise is maybe having long nails because it can trap dirt or it can trap microbes. But makeup is just like how you put your moisturizer or anything you get, so it is still the same thing.
But it has to be simple as well.
Yes.
Of
course, you don't have to be dramatic, you do something else, yes. Yeah.
But sometimes you need to sometimes it's needed to be dramatic. You see the hospital is full of fear.
No, it's not necessary, because now, you know, us as Africans, we have a mentality, not even Africans, I think that is it. There is a mentality. Oh, it's tegera. Akulabo ina lashes, abana gamba enzinenjala, zigenda kundwaza, you get. So at times you have to, for the safety of the patients. Gwenga gwe kizo kwanga kikunyumira naye omuntu gogenda okukola ko segera agenda kipasivinga atya. So at times that's why you have to lay back. When you're in your weekends, then you can. But I mean, it doesn't mean toteeteka ku lipstick wako ogenda kukola, no.
So otandika okukola ku baana banno.
Yes, nkola ku baana bannange. Then after, I used to get connections from outside. I have my sister, she's so connected. So kati nga nfunirayo bu gigs wabweru. Before I know, I have my first bride. working on my first bride. My first bride, I think, was in 2017, and that was in Soroti.
Wow.
I think, no, the first one was in Fort Portal, yeah. I moved out of school, even moving out of school was illegal. So, and every time you have to go and ask for permission, you have to give a reason. I've lost someone, manyav what. So I would nagenda bugenzi. Ogira what? No genda. Okitegera. Katinga. I went out. I'd booked for makeup. They had booked me for makeup in Fort Portal. There are two girls, sisters were introducing at the same time. So when I reached them, and my sister was the matron, Rachel, you're going to do her hair as well. And I'm like, how? She's like, you are going to do it. I'm like, but I don't know how to style hair. She's like, you are going to do it. I started panicking because the other sister had hired a professional hair stylist. So I'm there. So she was like, you know what? Be confident, be calm. You're going to do it. So I started twisting hair, and it came out. And now the sister was like, oh, how I wish I knew you had worked on me. Yeah. And even my rates were even still very low because first of all, I was not believing myself. I was like, how do I even touch someone's hair? And then then they move out to the photos, and then how are they going to look like?
So what kind of hair did they have? Omanyi waliwo enviiri ezanguwa
nayeosanga
ye talina kyasibye yali asibye weave
kati nina okustylinga weave. Yes, kati nga knowledge ya weave ze sibimanyi babikola batya biki, but I had to nga simanyi nakumanya, but it somehow came out. Omugole n'afuluma n'anyuma, and from that time she told me, now you see, you're going to add hair so that you have more, you get more clients, and then you have more, I think, value. Yeah.
How much was your first pay?
My first pay, minus the students, those guys paid me 150, both of them. So meaning I was charging around 150, around 70 each. Yeah, and
Tebakwa transport.
Badi wampa transport. Net transport, I was going with my sister, so I don't know how they calculated it. So, but that was the pay 150.
So coming back to school.
I came back to school and I was like, nothing has happened, because they don't look for you unless you're very unlucky. They roll call at times, so when they roll call and you're not in, that is a problem. You'll have to answer what they were, and you have to give a very genuine reason. So I was lucky most of the times that I used to go out and work, I would not, and somehow I would find a way of maneuvering.
So that's how you used to do it until you finished your 3 years.
Yes. Until I finished my 3 years, and
I'm sure by the time you completed those 3 years, you had established yourself.
Yeah, not so, but not fully. Yeah, not fully that I was fully established, because I still had hair was not so conversant. Because I was used to makeup. So, but when I got out of school, I decided now to go to study hair now.
Parents have seen days.
Yes. And you know, the funny thing is, when I was in my vacation, in my vac, my mom told me, mukadde yangamba, lwaki togenda n'okola saloon?
Nogamba nze.
Exactly. That's what I said. I was like, me, nze nga ndi mu saloon kuki? Nengamba naye tandise okumanyira. How do you tell me to go and start be doing? And I started. At that time I was like, katijuka fe twakola nti nga mutumanyi nti amuntu akola saloon ye yalemwa maybe the grade zagana, you dropped out of school, wazalako, you get, because that was the trend then, nti abantu abagendanga mu saloon, that was it. But now here I finished school, I took myself, paid for myself, not even telling her nti manyi. So compare.
How do you even tell her that I'm now going for saloon? After completing these 3 years, they want to take a pressure.
Katina Nakolachi, in that space when I was waiting for my transcript, I started doing saloon. I am town now. Ninjiga, how to plait hair, how to style. Those styling or Jawa Igiriza with time. Then later I also went to Esther School of Beauty, and then I enhanced somehow. And now I was confident I can price someone, I can quote for someone this amount of money. I'm going to give you something nice.
So meaning now man, you know, siba sina styling.
Yes.
So kati cause.
Yes, because when I'm at
didn't this affect you? You know, when you start getting that money, that is the centers and makeup, it comes along with some excitement. Jukiro batotadde munyo capital already ebintu byobiyina. So didn't you think about it nogamba have you know now because ebya lab?
But now let me tell you what happened. I was working at Emmanuel Medical Center in Entebbe. I happened to get a client around December. So when I was going to, I told my colleagues I am not going to be around this time. They were like, no, you're supposed to be on night duty, what. I'm like, okay. I stayed. I worked. I told the person, you know what, I'm not around at that time, so maybe you can find someone else. So the next gig came around Feb. It was around 800,000. I tell these guys, you know what, prior, I am not going to be around this time. So the time comes, they tell me like, and now I request for my leave. They're like, no, we have to first sit and talk about your leave. I'm like, but I talked about this thing some time back. Now you're telling me you have to first sit. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I am going. I am using my leave. I left. So when I left, my boss, I think he reported me, and then the boss, my in charge reported me, and then my boss sent me, you know what, thank you for your services. You are no longer needed. I'm like, it is okay. But now going there, we need to be careful with the words we say. Going to Emmanuel, I'd given myself a timeline of 6 months. And trust me, when 6 months were ending like this, that is when I was leaving. I told my friends I'm not working in that place for more than 6 months. Because the money was comparing a center, whatever makeup centers, why do I be stressed? But I've always wanted more money and more genuine money. And I'm a manga and it's enough to stay in makeup. I go there and work. So we know what to stop. I'm like, it's okay. I went to did my gig in a car centers and then after now I figured out what next. I don't have a job. What am I going to do next? I was staying in Entebbe, so I was like, you know what, let me go to these salons and tell them, you know what, I can be a makeup artist. Because I didn't have enough confidence, enough zeal to start my own thing. Like I can open up a shop and be there, and that is me, that is my business. I pay it, I do what, I run it. So I didn't have that confidence. So, and then I also started now thinking of, can I start a laboratory of my own? So, but in the village, and then how am I going to run it? But I don't want to go to the village, so how am I going to run it? So I was there in mixed tea. So before, I think when I was still there, I'd done an interview at ChemLabs. So they called me, can you come and sign a contract, what? So they told me, you're going to do marketing. I'd done marketing, yes, at Crown Beverages, but I was not conversant with marketing. How do I talk to? And I always feared marketing because it is known to be commission based. If you don't sell, you don't earn. So I was like, how am I going to do that? Even when I was doing the interview, I was like, I remember the lines in my interview. I told them, you know what? They asked me, what do you like? What don't you like? I was like, I don't like people making noise at me. When I do wrong, do not make it a big deal. I'm not saying babysit me, but don't make noise at me, please. And then after I went, So now these guys called me, and I had no option. You get
that attitude when you start getting yoka money. Most young girls have it. Most young girls have it. How has it affected you?
Of course, now it has really affected me somehow. People think I'm arrogant. Yeah,
you have to admit the repercussions of the attitude.
Yes, people think I'm arrogant somehow, but I don't know. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But I always feel I deserve better. You get it? You can't let me sit here and then you demand me so much from me and then you're giving me small money.
Exactly.
So,
you're like
and
me.
when you table eat, you become arrogant. You get so.
Anyway, katuwumule mu Katonda bwe tukomawo tuwumbe n'emboozi ya Immaculate Rachel K.